Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your Week 13 first look. It has been put up on Draftkings. I'm here to break down all my favorite plays right now. This is an early look. We don't know about injuries. We don't know about COVID stuff, ins or outs, or nothing about that. Things can change. This will be the first look on Week 13 for the Draftkings NFL slate on Sunday. But before I get into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessNetJSD. And don't forget to sign up for the Patreon, all right? The Patreon is right here in front of you. Got a nice picture of who was my favorite play of the day. Right now, he's killing it. And I'm giving you everything with DFS, NBA. I'm giving you Monday Night Football picks. That's here as well. Russell Wilson's doing a great job. Um, Tyler Lockett has like over 100 yards receiving. All that good stuff comes with the monthly package on Patreon. So guys, get signed up. The next thing we're going to look at is the YouTube channel. This is the YouTube channel. We are currently at 574 subscribers. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Let's push to 600. I want to finish the year strong. We're going to have a bold claim. By the end of December, I will have 1,000 subscribers, all right? That's only going to happen with consistency and with you guys spreading the word and liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. All right, we're gonna say 1,000 subscribers by the end of December, by January. Okay, that's what we're gonna say, and there will be a giveaway of. I haven't decided yet, but there will be definitely a giveaway when we get to 1K. Someone's getting Cash App, someone's getting PayPal, someone's getting some money. All right, that's 100% guarantee. All right, now let's deep dive into the Week 13. Starting at the QB position, some of the guys I'm looking at, I'm not really looking at Lamar Jackson. I looked at his history against the Pittsburgh Steelers and is not very good. Kyler Murray is questionable coming back against the Chicago. So we're going to start it off with Matthew Stafford. Stafford had a little bit of rough patch the past couple of weeks against San Francisco and Tennessee. A nice bounce back performance against the Green Bay Packers in another loss. But this is a situation where you get the Rams on a 3-game losing streak back home against one of the worst defenses in the league. Matthew Stafford has to be one of the top tier options for quarterback this week. All right. Absolutely outstanding matchup. Cooper Kupp was non-existent against Green Bay. Obviously, they have a very good secondary. And this is a perfect stack to start off Week 13 with Stafford, Kupp. Let's go back to the basics. People might be forgetting it, looking at some other areas. This is a perfect game where Stafford can get his 3 touchdowns and possibly some more TDs and peripherals in this game against Jacksonville. They should definitely pound them. Obviously, Darrell Henderson is in a good spot as well, but Stafford, love him. Next guy we're going to look at will be Tom Brady. Each and every week, we get opportunities. We should play him, all right? Unfortunately, against the Colts, they were moving the ball. They scored 38 points, but every single touchdown was pretty much Leonard Fournette. I think that will change in this game. Atlanta obviously is bad stopping the run, and they're bad in the air as well. There's no answers for Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. This is another great stack to have. You definitely should have your play on Tom Brady and on his wide receivers and tight end. Okay, that was an anomaly against the Colts where they just in every single opportunity in the red zone, or it was a long play. It was Leonard Fournette taking it to the house. Okay, I think that changes this week. Tom Brady at 7,200 is a very nice price. I'm gonna talk about 2 quarterbacks right here because this is a gem. You get the LA Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals going up against each other. You get to see Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow battling it out. This one should be a back and forth game. I know Cincinnati has a solid defense. Question mark on the Charger side with their defense. They've been a little bit up and down. Struggled against Denver last week, so that should lean to more of a back and forth affair. Maybe Cincinnati gets up big and Herbert has to fight back, and we love when Herbert is in must-throw mode. That means he's connecting with Keenan Allen, with Mike Williams, with Jared Cook and Austin Eckler. He has so many weapons at his helm. So we love Herbert and Burrow this week. Let's see if I can find you one more gem before we move on. Um, I want to forget it. We're going it. We're going with it. Russell Wilson will be the cheap guy that I'm looking at right now. Obviously, things can change when we go to the final look. But Russell Wilson going up against San Francisco. This is a prime spot. They're back home. We'll see what happens in this game against Washington. But already he's turned it around. Currently, Russell Wilson has 145 yards passing, 1 TD. I think things are coming back into motion. They're in must-win mode. If they're going to have a fight to that last playoff spot, they can't lose anymore. They've lost enough so far this year. Russell Wilson coming off his birthday. We will see how he performs, and I think he's a very solid option at 6,400. When was the last time you seen Russell Wilson this cheap? This is a 7K and above quarterback. You're getting at a very cheap price against the San Francisco defense that's been very up and down. You saw what they did last week against Minnesota, allowing a ton of points there. So Russell Wilson is definitely going to be one of the guys we should have in our playbook. Let's move over to the running back position, and we're going to start at the tippy top. This is going to be the logo, the thumbnail of my video, and that's going to be Jonathan Taylor, outstanding #1 running back. If you were shy to get him in your fantasy drafts, I understand. You got to be bullish, man. You got to be bullish and go for it. You got to. You missed out on an opportunity. When you see these young breakout running backs before the age of 25, those are the guys that are really going off and exploding in fantasy football. All right. Once they get to that 26, 27, 28 range, question marks start to pop up, injuries start to pop up. Running backs, their career are very, very short. So you want the young guys straight out of college, the first, second, and third year. That's the guys that you want. All right, Jonathan Taylor, absolutely a steal. He's going to get a touchdown pretty much every week. And now he gets to face the Houston Texans. You saw what the Jets were able to do against the Texans with Ty Johnson and Tevin Coleman. They accumulated a ton of yards. And Austin Walter, he had a rushing TD. Jonathan Taylor is in a perfect matchup going up against the Texans this week. Next, we're going to look at Alexander Madison with the injury to Dalvin Cook. It's looking like he's going to be out. Let's see if we have an update on him. Cook currently says is expected to sit out the next 2 games. So Alexander Madison, this is a definite play, okay, against the Detroit Lions. There's no need for me to explain why to play a running back against the Detroit Lions. It's the Detroit Lions. So we have our 2 mainstays right here. If you can build a lineup with Stafford, Taylor, Madison, and find value somewhere else, it's going to be tough, but these are very solid plays right here that we have right now. Let's continue on down the line at the running back position. Another one, we have a Leonard Fournette. Fournette had 4 TDs last week, 3 rushing, 1 receiving. He's the absolute bell cow for this team. Obviously, it was a good situation where they just bullied the Colts. We can see it's possible that they can obviously bully Atlanta as well. At 7,300, this is his highest price all season. So you might see a little bit of downtrend in this game, but it's definitely someone that can break out this week. All right. Another guy we're going to look at is Corduro Patterson. He is the entire offense, okay? Ever since, usurping the other running back on Atlanta Falcons, he's been very consistent. Look at this, week 2, 23. Giants was 16. Washington was 34. Jets was 18. Look at his consistency, 18, 22. Comebacks from injury, 30 fantasy points. They're going to feed him in a multiple of facets on the offensive side of the ball because they just have Kyle Pitts. Everyone else is pretty much question mark. Russell Gage is okay, but Cordero Patterson is an X factor, and I love him at his price at 7,000. Let's see if we can find some other cheap guys for you. We have a possible injury on Deandre Swift. Swift is leaning towards not playing in this week's game against Minnesota. So with him out, we can look to Jamal Williams, the running back for Detroit Lions, the former Green Bay Packer. He had a lot of touches in the Thanksgiving game, 15 rushing attempts, 65 yards. Also had 5 catches on 5 targets. If they're down, then he's going to get peppered. If they're up, he's going to get peppered. Play Jamal Williams at 5,400. A lot of people are going to go up higher, but he definitely can provide a significant amount of value for you at that price. Okay, being the number one running back, Jamal Williams is a steal for this week. Let's see if we can continue down. I think I got like one more for you. Got one more for you, and then by the end of the week, I'll give you my final thoughts on everyone. But Elijah Mitchell is going up against the Seattle Seahawks with the injury to Deebo Samuel. And this is a running team period as well. Look at the attempts back to back weeks. 27 attempts for 91 yards against the Rams, and that's a very good run D. And then 27 attempts, 133 yards and a touchdown, 5 receptions for 35 yards. Eli Mitchell is the absolute number one for the 49ers, going up against the Seahawks, who are 31st ranked against running backs. It's a perfect matchup for him. I can definitely see another 30 spot for him. And you know how Shanahan runs the ball, okay? That's the whole offense. They build around him and they work around that and go to the play action, all right? Eli Mitchell at 600, well, 6,000 is a great play. Now let's move over to the wide receivers. Obviously, like I said before, you want to pair the wide receivers with the quarterbacks I already spoke about, okay? So I already spoke about Stafford. That's Cooper Kupp. That's Odell Beckham. I already spoke about Tom Brady. That's Mike Evans. And that's Chris Godwin. I talked about Herbert and Burrow. You got gems right there. You got Chase. You got T. Higgins. You got Mike Williams. And you got Keenan Allen. Those are a whole bunch of stars right there. Let's see if we can find some other capable wide receivers. If we're just going down the list, obviously no Deebo Samuel. Ayuk would become the number one. He can be a great option. If we're continuing to go down, Jalen Waddle has become a big breakout in his rookie year as a wide receiver. 9 receptions, 10 targets, 137 yards with 1 TD. As long as Tua is healthy, he's going to target his main guy, and that's Jalen Waddle. That was a very surprising game from Waddle against Carolina, who has some top tier corners. And he definitely exploited that matchup. Definitely someone to look at 6,400. I think he continue to keep the ball rolling going on. Next would be, let's see. Let's continue to go down. Next will be Brandon Cooks. Colts struggle with the secondary. This is the number one option for the Texans. Tyrod Taylor hooked up with Cooks against the Jets. Only 3 receptions, 45 yards, but he has a ton of upside. The targets are usually there. 14 against Miami, 7 against Arizona. Indianapolis Colts was 13, and he's facing the same team again. In that particular game, he finished with 17 fantasy points, 9 receptions on 89 yards. That's what you're looking for. You just need him to get in the end zone. But if you need a nice, safe floor, Brandon Cooks can be your guy. Let's continue on down the list. On the other side of the ball in this game will be Michael Pittman. He's the number one option for the Colts. Struggled against Tampa Bay and Buffalo, two tough defenses. I think he gets back on the upside over 10 fantasy points, probably a touchdown going up against the Houston Texans that can definitely be exploited. This is the number one option for the Colts. I love him in this game at 5,700 if you're looking for a mid-tier option. Let's see if I can find you some other gems down here so far before we get into, the end of the week. Let's see. I'll continue to go down. I don't want to touch that. I already spoke about Brandon Ayuk. One more option will be Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore, the wide receiver for the Jets, rookie wide receiver, has come on as of late. Look at the consistency here with the targets 8, 6, 11, and 8 in the last game. Getting used in the rushing with a lot of end arounds. He's a very explosive wide receiver. Big blowout game against Miami. Was decent in that Houston game. They more leaned on the run, but definitely against Philadelphia. If Corey Davis comes back, he can obviously avoid Darius Slay coverage. and that would lean me to more Elijah Moore in this game. Okay, I think he'll have a definite strong finish to the season. You're seeing it already. You're seeing it already. 27 fantasy points against the Colts, 32 against Miami, 13 against Buffalo, which is a tough matchup, and 13 against Cincinnati. At still 5,500, he's getting you there. Okay, he's getting you there, and definitely he has the explosiveness to get you 20 or more fantasy points. Okay. Now let's go over to the tight end position. Last but not least, some of the guys we're going to focus in on here. With the absence of Deebo Samuel, George Kittle should be back in your picture. All right, struggled against Minnesota, only one reception, 2 targets. They really keyed in on him. I think he has a bounce back performance going up against Seattle, who struggles against tight ends. Another good play will be Gronkowski. All right, that was my lock. That was this past Sunday. Gronkowski was an absolute lock. Once he's back healthy, he's gonna get fed from Tom Brady. I think you have to have Gronkowski. All right, if you want to run 2 tight end lineups, fine, be my guest. But Gronkowski should be in all your lineups. Look at this: 7 receptions, 10 targets, 123 yards. The week before was 6 receptions, 8 targets, and 71 yards. As long as Antonio Brown is out, Gronkowski will be fed each and every week. All right, touchdowns will come very soon, probably this week as well. 5,300 is too cheap for one of the greatest tight ends ever in history. Someone else to look at will be Logan Thomas coming back in his second game. He's playing right now against Seattle. Now he's going up against Las Vegas, who is the bottom of the league against tight ends. And you've seen the consistency last season between him and their quarterback. Now the same thing is happening. And look at the beginning of the season: 3 for 30 and a touchdown, 5 for 45, and then in Buffalo, 4 for 42 and a touchdown. He's getting peppered from Taylor Heineke, and at 4,000 salary, that is still too cheap for him. I think he finishes the season strong as well. Someone you can look at consistently for the rest of this DFS season. Definitely look at Logan Thomas. All right. And that's all I have for you currently right now for the first look of week 13. I mean, things can change. I will definitely update you guys at the end of the week with another final choice video. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD. And I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out, guys.